Politicians were in the pockets, there were senators on the edge, there were Wall Street mooks shaking in their boots, standing on the window ledge. A cold north wind was blowing, giving everybody a chill. Nothing moved out on Main Street the day the earth stood still. How is the timing? 1, 2, 3.
It's a little bit fuzz. Who cares? It's good enough for rock and roll, you guys say, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
You're a long ways away. So where in Italy are you?
The Italian Alps.
Okay.
It's unbelievable. Out the window is Alps. It's so beautiful. It's a mountain town. There's a waterfall Da Vinci drew and wrote about in the 1500s, like 100 yards from here. Like when I open the there's shutters on everything, big ones. I open the shutters and I can hear the waterfall. It's paradise. So I'm good.
How did you hook up with that spot?
Well, I've been coming to Italy since '91 to tour. And I got married here a year ago in October. I met someone, and that's how this happened. I met somebody, and we got married, and so we have a home now in the Italian Alps. You can't make this stuff up. Actually, you can, but I'm not.
Right. Usually, it is made up. Exactly. That's amazing. So I heard about your getting married from James Maddock. He, I believe he was there. Or did you have an American party as well? Is that what it was?
Yes, we got married in Italy. We married in Italy in the city hall, where my wife rode a horse onto the city hall property. Wait, your internet connection is unstable, but can you still hear me?
Okay. I think that's going to have to be okay.
Okay.
It sounded like you were
anyway. We got married
once. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
We got married here, and then in October of 2020, and then last August in New York again, just because this lawyer said, you might want to get married in New York in case you get a civil servant. It said, what are these funny papers from Italy? So we did both, and both were great. Yeah.
When you find the right person, I guess it's only a pleasure to marry them as many times as you can.
I'm thinking of getting married again. I ask her every day to marry me again, but like great love is hard to find. I mean, as we all know, everybody knows that, and I've been a little bit lucky. Yeah.
And that's, in fact, that very subject has been the stuff of many albums.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Great love is hard to find, from Shakespeare to Leonardo da Vinci to whoever, the Joe Schmo. Great love is hard to find. We're all trying to find it, and I've been a little lucky.
There's some that might claim that if you are going to look for it, Italy is a great place to start because it has this wonderful history of romance and love. And I mean,
I was on tour in Spain with a Spanish band some years back. Great guys, and the lead guitarist has toured with me many times in Europe, in UK, Italy, Spain, Jorge. And we were driving in Spain, and the band was going on about how great Spain was, and Italy said, Jorge said, Spain is great, yeah, but they don't call Italy the cradle of civilization for nothing. It's amazing here. The people are crazy, but it's amazing. They're passionate. It's so beautiful. The art, the history, the food. you could just, the food alone gives it a 10. You know, I'm eating like a god over here. I mean, breakfast, dinner, whatever. Italy, I could talk about Italy for the whole time, but yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Well, it's funny because my parents, New York Jews,
Yep.
but they were more at home in Italy. They would go every year.
Really? Where would they go?
They would go
What?
to a small seaside town called Sperlonga, which is probably, it's like, that's got to be near the Malfi area.
Wow.
Mal-
You know what? The small towns, like you could drive through Tuscany. I mean, I've driven through Tuscany many times, and it's like you're in a postcard, a living it's so beautiful.
Sure. Yeah.
And there's the big, great cities. I mean, Florence is amazing, but the small towns anywhere in Italy, like these towns on these cliffs, it's the little things that are the magic, and there's a lot of it here. There's a lot of magic everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Italy is particularly amazing, and I love being here. I feel like I'm back in time. It's like a time travel thing. I live in New York City, in the Greenwich Village, and I like the edge. I like the action, but to come here, the dichotomy, the change is just, I love it. I go back in time. I'll go back to New York next week, and I'll enter into that, hotbed of whatever it is. So I'm happy to be alive. I'm enjoying it. And I've been writing the whole time I've been here. I've written some good things. So the creative thing is still working after all these years.
It's wonderful to hear. It's inspiring, Willie. And you are coming back. I was going to ask you if you were kind of disappointed to have to come back, but you have a bunch of performances to look forward to.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, I could stay here forever. I love it here. But I've got shows, and I've got a bunch of stuff going on that's really interesting and good. I'm playing February 12th in Beacon, New York at Town Crier. I'm in the 18th at the Linda in Albany.
Yeah, I have it. I wrote these things down, and you're beating me to the punch.
That's okay. It doesn't matter. But I love playing. I've got one of the great bands on the planet. My band. So February 12th in Beacon, New York. These guys, I would put them up against anybody. And the two shows, that's the 12th of February at the Town Crier in Beacon. On the 18th and 19th. 18th, I'm in Albany at the Linda. Mm-hmm. Fascinating place. The dressing room is a bank vault. There's literally like one of those doors, like with things. And I thought, I was afraid to go in there. I go, is anybody going to close this door? And it's a great venue. They got a great piano. And I'm going to do a solo show. I'm going to play. I was in Buffalo. My father's 104 years old. He's doing great. Knock on wood.
Alive?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Is he ever? And I was at his piano the other day, a couple weeks ago, and I was playing like the first couple songs I ever wrote, and I thought, not bad. So I'm going to tell stories and play all kinds of stuff, and guitar, piano, whatever. And that's on the 18th in Albany, and then the 19th I'm in Piermont, New York, at a place called the Turning Point. 2 solo shows, and I don't do many solo shows. I mean, if I've done 5 in the last 20 years, so I'm having a ball. So band show, a couple of 3 solo shows. I'll come back. I'm wandering, I'm traveling. I'm good.
Well, it sounds like the solo shows gives you you figured out how to take advantage of that as an opportunity to do something different, like almost, I don't want to say the C word, cabaret style a little bit, but there's more of a way to open things up in a way you wouldn't do with a band. So that's great than just
if I write a song like Blood on Your Hands, with Steve Earle on my new album, The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Yeah.
The Day the Earth Stood Still. Steve Earle lives around the corner from me in Greenwich Village, literally 4 buildings away, and I see him all the time. We become friends, and Steve's great. Takes care of his autistic son. No longer tours from September to June. Single parent, taking care of a 12-year-old nonverbal autistic son. Wow. And he's devoted, really great father. And when we were mixing the album, working on finishing The Day the Earth Stood Still, I thought I had this song called Blood on Your Hands, which is about the pandemic and the mishandling of it. And it's more than that, but that's the gist of it. And I said, Steve, I got the song, I'd love to have you sing on it. He goes, I'm around, 2 words. And he came and he sang on it, and it's great. And we videotaped it. And the solo shows, like when someone writes a song, whether it's, Ray Davies, whatever, like it's just a voice and a guitar or a voice and a piano. And sometimes therein you can find the seed. I can always deliver passion and whatever, but I rarely do them, but I'm going to start doing more of them because it's unique and I can play. I've written 500 songs and I've new things, old things. The first song I ever wrote, it's called Chlorine. She's real clean. My chlorine. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but good ridiculous.
And any fan would probably really get a kick out of you're doing that,
Anyway, yeah. I love playing. I love performing. I love recording. I love writing. Writing's my favorite. I love playing. The fans have been so good. They've been supportive during this pandemic. I was doing a monthly online show, we had one show last year, one. And I would do monthly online shows and the fans stepped up, got me through it. And fans have been great. I love them. And I don't disappoint, when I do an album, I usually fan funded. And I've made 9 albums in 12 years, 4 in the last 5. And I would hold them up against any albums, they don't suck. They're not just record. I won't go in the studio with just so. I don't go in unless I think we got something special. I won't walk on a stage unless I think we got something special. We can make magic. And that's been keeping me, alive and vibrant all these years. I refuse to accept mediocrity. I'll quit before that happens, Anyway, I'm having a blast.
Bless you for that. But have you gone through slumps then? And I'm not talking about industry deciding that you're not the flavor of the month or whatever. I'm just talking about your own personal artistic rut. Has that happened?
I would say not really. I started writing years and years ago, and when I first started writing, I had bits and pieces. I wasn't finishing songs. Then I started to finish songs. We're talking like early 70s, late 60s. And I started to finish. And over the years, I've learned what ideas to pursue and what not to waste my time with. And I never forced, if the songs aren't coming, I don't care. So no, I don't feel I've had a rut. I walked away from the record business in 81, from 1980 being the next big thing, which is a lot of crap. But that I was, celebrated as the next big Bob Dylan, next Bruce Springsteen. It was a lot of crap. Anyway, I didn't buy into any of that. And I walked away when
Columbia Records. Was that Columbia
Records?
I
was on Arista.
Arista.
Arista was 1980. Columbia was 91.
Got you.
And
right.
I never was in it for the fame, That's not a road that's going to get you. What did fame do for Michael Jackson? Really? Fame is shit. I don't care about fame, but I care about humanity. I care about passion. I care about, meaningful things. And fame, celebrity, how famous can you get? Adam, oh my God, you're the best person, you're the best interviewer ever, you're the most brilliant human being. People should kiss the ground you walk on. I wouldn't wish that on you ever. It's not healthy.
You should tell my mother that, because
I will tell her. She knows it already. She's just not telling you she knows it.
I'm joking around about a Jewish mother kind of thing, but thinking,
right.
Yeah. Well, also, I was thinking as you were saying that, who, if you were really of that, after that, you wouldn't be spending so much time in Italy, where, although for all I know, you have a big following there. I know. Did you turn James onto Italy, or how did he end up getting?
I've been coming to Italy since 1992. A buddy of mine brought me over. I've been touring almost every year since then.
Right.
James came over. There was an Italian promoter Andrea. We started bringing James over. I'm not sure how many years ago, 6, 8, 9, 10. I'm not sure, but I love James. James Maddock is, if this was the old days of the record business, he'd be selling out Madison Square Garden, and rightfully so. He's one of the great voices in contemporary music. He's a great songwriter, and that's not an easy match. He's brilliant. You know, he continuously puts out great records. His live shows are forget about it. You know, he's a great guitar player. I saw a gig. They did a gig in New York at I can't remember the venue, and it was a bunch of hot shots on stage, and they were doing it was Bonnie and Delaney, and what was Joe Cocker's Mad Dogs and Englishmen.
Yeah.
And they had like John Leventhal, Roseanne Cash's husband, amazing guitarist. I mean, world class. Some other hot shot. They had a great band, background singers. And James came up and did Layla. And he took the lead solo. And I was looking, going, it was the best thing played all night. This was the old days of the record business. James would be selling out the Garden. James is a monstrous talent.
All my years, his performance is huge.
Yeah. No, it's frozen now.
For me to meet you, so dead to also that. Let alone just coincidentally that I ended up working at this radio station. Yeah, he could do his in a little pub too. Exactly what I was thinking. Arena, because he can go intimate and he can go huge just based on his energy and the songs.
He's a world-class artist, you know, and I've been in New York City 50 years come June. 50 years, you know. I don't give up, and I keep going. And there's a guy making a documentary about me, and when I met him to say no, I didn't know who he was. You know, Scorsese's a fan. If Marty wanted to make a documentary, I said, well, hell yeah, because you know he's always good. You know, listen, God bless.
Right, good choice.
God bless Marty. So this fella flew over from Vienna, Austria. I met him. I didn't even want to meet him. And a friend said, no, meet him. You never know. And he flew. Oh, all right, I'll meet you. I met him to say no. And I said to him, well, why do you want to make a movie about me? You know, I meant it. I wasn't being arrogant. Why me? And he says, because you never gave up. You're doing your best work now. And with New York City as a backdrop, it's a story of inspiration. All right. So we talked for 2 hours. Then I realized with everything he picked up on, every comment, me doing an interview in Paris in 1980, everything he picked up on was really smart. And I went, you know, and so we've been working on it for the last 5 years, and it's really coming. We've got a lot of people in it, interesting people, homeless people, New York City, like bohemian living, plus yeah, we have a lot of I'm excited about it. It's gonna be good. You never know. And but James Maddock, 50 years, the best singer-songwriter in all my years in New York City. And I've seen the whole CBGB scene, the acoustic scene. I love James. Yeah.
Well, I love you, man. I love your music, and I just love your
passion.
Thank you, I really do. It's inspiring to hear you at this point still. With this appetite,
I'm 73 years old. I'm practically fucking dead, but I'm nowhere near it. I feel, you know what, when I moved to New York, I graduated from the University of Buffalo.
Right.
And, you know, drove to New York, you know, just with the dream, you know, and naive as hell, you know. And I feel now the same energy and passion. You know, when I play the early songs, Vagabond Moon, Sing Me a Song, I feel the same. The dumbest motherfucker. I mean, they're so dumb. I don't know better. But I feel the same passion. I'm a lucky guy in that. I'm enjoying it to the max. I've seen the things I've seen in New York over 50 years. The artists, the musicians, the crazies, the homeless. It's taught me a lot. I learned a lot in Buffalo growing up in a really good family. I was lucky with a great foundation of love and giving and kindness. And University of Buffalo taught me a lot. But New York City, whoa, that's a university. It's a great place to learn the street, and I'm still learning it. And it's taught me a lot, and I'm grateful for it. So I'm still learning, still walking down the road.
You're so humble.
Yeah.
People can visit. Well, you mentioned the Town Crier show in Beacon, New York, which is a really short trip from the city, but where I'm from, I'll be down there. I'm going to go on Saturday, the 12th of February. It's coming right up.
Oh, you're lucky. You know what? You're not going to believe this band. You know who came the last time we played? Philippe Petit. You know the guy that walked the World Trade Center?
Sure, yes, of course. One of the great talk about documentaries. One of the great documentaries come out in the last 20 years too.
He is a good friend of mine, and he came to the show. I was so honored. I opened the show with the streets of New York, where I came out solo and played the streets of New York, a maze made of iron and stone. And the band comes out at the end, and like Philippe came, you know, and maybe I'll invite him again. I'm not sure, but it's a great venue. The sound's great, and my band, not for nothing, but like as good as there is on the planet. So I'd love to say hello to you in person. So, you know, I'm in the house. So let me know. Let me know you're there.
I will. I'm absolutely kidding, of course. And also, it sounds like a show on the 18th in Albany for those who might, I guess, live upstate. That's a bit more of a trip for anybody else. But
Yep.
The recent album, we'll call it a recent album, it's called Day the Earth Stood Still, which includes, just to repeat, the single with Steve Earle, Blood on Your Hands.
Yep.
I don't think I left anything out. But
Well,
people can go to willienile.com and get all the information, sign up on your newsletter, etc.
if people go to willienile.com, it's Willie WILLIE, and there's videos there which really tell the story, you know, whether it's a band video or you know, we're not fooling around. Well, we are fooling around, but we're not fooling around. You know, it's like I always say, well, we're not fooling around. I go, no, we are fooling around. It's a wonderful juxtaposition of, you know, the innocent and the crazy and the passion. And what's a bench for a solo show? The songs I'm singing, if I didn't mean something to me, I don't just go. I'm not there to show off. I don't care. It's not about me. It's about the songs. It really is. It's not about me. It's the songs. They come to me and I'm writing them down. And I've got a really good body of work I'm proud of. And one of the greatest bands on the planet. Jimmy Bones, Johnny Paisano, and John Weber. Man, oh man. So yeah. Yeah.
Well,
there's something to be said for believing. There's something to be said for believing in your dreams, you know?
Well, this turned out to be far more, well, I don't know. I didn't have any idea. I would assume this was going to be great, but it certainly turned out to be great. So thank you for making the time on while you're
Thank you, Adam.
Trying to, you could be listening and looking at a waterfall, but you chose to do this. So I appreciate it.
No, it's a pleasure. I appreciate you taking the time because to get the word out, you know, it's a pleasure. I love what I do. If I didn't, I would just go look at the waterfall, which I love doing, but I appreciate you taking the time, Adam, and thank you for it. And yeah, I mean, I'm knocking on wood, you know, I'm a lucky guy in a lot of ways.
Well, my best to your wife, and I'll see you in Beacon next weekend.
Come say hello. All right.
I promise. I'll be thrilled to meet you.
All right. Thank you, my friend.